If willpower hasn't fixed your emotional eating, it's because willpower was never the issue. Emotional eating goes much deeper than that, and today I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that you need to break emotional eating for good. So number one is naming the emotion before you eat. So a lot of times we're eating most commonly out of like fear of something, out of frustration with something, out of anger. Normally there's some sort of like negative emotion going on. It's pretty unlikely, unless we're like comfort eating, which is slightly different, that we are emotionally eating from a positive emotion. So name the emotion. The clearer you can be and the more that you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, the easier it is to solve. If you just blanket statement, I emotionally eat, it feels very overwhelming. Second is a 10-minute rule. So I have seen people talk about 20-minute rules. I actually think that's even too long. I think a 10-minute rule. When you feel the need to emotionally eat, or you want something sweet, or you just know that you've got an emotion that you've named already, hopefully, and you want to eat something, ask yourself to wait 10 minutes. If you cannot wait 10 minutes, that shows that it's a really powerful bit of emotional eating. And for almost anything, no matter how hungry you are, you can always wait 10 minutes. So wait 10 minutes, set a timer, go and do something else, distract yourself. Don't just sit on the sofa waiting for that 10 minutes. Do something else. By the time that comes round, you've given yourself a minute or 10 minutes to pause, to reevaluate and decide if you actually need that food. And a lot of the times you won't. Make sure you're eating regular meals. So many women emotionally eat because they are under eating and they're not eating breakfast. They're not getting 30 grams of protein at a meal. They're not getting enough fiber or micronutrients. A lot of times women who are eating very processed diets will emotionally eat because they're not getting enough micronutrients. So make sure you're getting enough of everything. And if you're not sure what that is, drop me a message or comment below and I'll drop you some free advice. I'm an online coach of 9+ years and I love helping people eat better and break emotional eating. Next, separate comfort from food. Don't get me wrong, I actually don't think that food is just fuel. It is socialization, it can be comfort, but it should not be our only thing that we use for comfort. If the only way you know how to comfort yourself is food or alcohol, that is negative. So find other ways to comfort yourselves. I love stretching, yoga, meditation, a walk with friends, a podcast, just time relaxing, calming my central nervous system. I love a good film. I love a bit of sunlight if there is any in the UK. Whatever you can do that is comfort and self-care for you is really important as well. Plan an afternoon safety snack. So what this means, a lot of times emotional eating can become a bit habitual. We're tired at 3 p.m, we're drained, our kids are tiring and our social battery is low, whatever it might be, and we get that kind of mid-afternoon slump, and that can lead to emotional eating at like 3 or 4. And it also, if you don't get enough between like lunch and dinner, you'll often find you emotionally eat later in the evening when again your cup is over full, you're too exhausted and you can't really fight things. So what I would say is plan a proper afternoon snack. Have some protein, have some fiber, get some light Baby Bells or a protein yogurt or protein shake, get some beef jerky or something that's got a bit of nutrition, a bit of fiber, a bit of protein, and you'll feel so much more satiated and less likely, not that it will solve it, but less likely to emotionally eat later. Try to build systems and not motivation. For example, like tell yourself that if you feel a certain emotion, you're going to do X instead. Or if you feel this emotion, you're going to do Y instead. Try and have systems in place that, like I said, there is that 10-minute pause so you can actually give yourself time to reflect if you need that thing. And also, again, a lot of the times we emotionally eat because we're not vocalizing or giving ourselves a headspace to talk into these emotions. So tell yourself, if I feel this, I'm going to journal it. I'm going to call my mum. I'm going to talk to my partner. I'm going to try and do something to actually give myself the headspace to work through this emotion rather than just relying on comfort eating for that. Regulate stress daily. Now, this is hard in a life that is busy and stressful and overwhelming, and 99.99999% of my clients are very burnt out and very stressed and have a lot on their plate, and are mums and multiple kids or have high-end jobs or stressful jobs. So don't get me wrong, it's not easy to do this, but a few minutes of stress regulation a day can add up over time. So every single morning I start my day with a bit of breath work. There's loads of good YouTube videos. If you want any suggestions, let me know. That can make a huge difference to calming my central nervous system for the day. You can do meditation or journaling. You can do just a minute of breath work. We all have time for that. Anything that calms and regulates your central nervous system will help. And really important to try and drop the all or nothing thinking. One bit of chocolate doesn't make you bad. There's no good or bad with food here. And I think the more that you have certain connotations around food and some foods being good and some foods being bad, the more that you're going to emotionally eat on those bad foods, because that's what you're going to crave for comfort. So if you say that chocolate is not out of limits, or you say you can have a biscuit, you're much less likely to emotionally eat on that because it hasn't got the same power, it hasn't got the same level of comfort or the same level of dopamine that you've been almost given it by saying you can't have it. So If you struggle with emotional eating, there are no good or bad foods, but there are good or bad behaviors that we're trying to fix in relation to those foods. And more importantly, try and sit down and remove distractions when eating. So try not to eat like talking to other people, or watching TV is a big one. A lot of us will only emotionally eat if we're like watching something or scrolling on TikTok or on our phones, or like doing something that's very much numbing. Try to sit and be present. So if you're gonna have some chocolate, sit and do it presently. Eat it, look at it, smell it, visualize it. Stop getting distracted by other things, which is difficult. That makes a huge difference. And if emotional eating feels like it's taking over your life and you're not sure what else to do and you want more tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be dropping 2 videos of valuable education every single week. And if you're not already, go and follow me on Instagram at liv_coach. Daily tips there. I'm here to help. I'm in your corner. And if you ever need any more support with this, drop me a DM.